I am not a relationship expert. I am not a relationship coach or a guru. But I went through heartbreak and I used the no contact rule to get me back to my sanity. I want to acknowledge your heartache. I want to acknowledge your pain. I understand right now you don't want to hear anything else except how to get your ex back. The no contact rule is a tool that should be used to stop communication between the person you broke up with or the person that broke up with you so that you can have a chance to focus and sort through your feelings. I do not believe that the no contact rule should ever be used to get your ex back. The only ex that you should be trying to get back is you. Or if you can't get yourself back, then you can become a better you. If someone has broken up with you and they honestly do not want you back, do you think going into no contact to get that person back is ever going to work? Think about it. All you have done is handed that person a prayer that they so wanted answered. They don't want you talking to them, you stop speaking to them, and that's exactly what they want. So you should always focus on yourself. Also, if someone is ignoring you and you really want them to talk to you, you stand a chance of doing something really stupid and you can get yourself into trouble. You might manipulate the person, you might show up to places where the person doesn't want you. And if there's a slim, tiny chance that person may have taken to think about, maybe I want this person back, you would have ruined that opportunity. Also, I understand that you are in immense pain, but no matter how much pain you are in, you must allow that person to use their own will to decide whether they want to talk to you or not. So if you go into no contact, it'll spare yourself a lot of hurt and a lot of rejection. There is another point of the no contact rule. If you're spending all of your time focusing on trying to get the person that you so desperately want back, you stand a very big chance of stopping love from coming into your life from someone else. There might be someone else out there that truly loves you, they want to be with you, but instead of you focusing on that person, that gift that's being given to you, you are wasting your time on the person that is telling you non-verbally that they do not want anything else to do with you. Now you have ended up doing to someone else what is being done to you, and this person had nothing to do with the issues you had with the person that you are so desperately trying to get back. When should you go into no contact? You should go into no contact when you are ready, and I will tell you why I say this. In my situation, I was the person that broke up with the man that I thought was the one. I spent 6 months trying to get this person to speak to me because I felt so crushed for how I ended this potential relationship. Now, some of you might say, well, you were the one that broke up with him, so why should he speak to you? You're right. It is his choice to speak to me. However, you have no idea why I broke up with the person. So try the best that you can to reserve your judgment for those that have broken up with another person. We all have broken up with people for various reasons. I remember I read a story one day that a young man was dating a girl. She came over to the house. She used his bathroom and he smelled it. And he broke up with her just because of that. Now, to you, that might be a dumb reason to break up with a good person. However, to some people, that might be off putting. They might want to have that image of perfection in that person's head. And when that situation happened with him, he broke up with the girl. I had valid reasons for breaking up with the person that I did, but I didn't like the way that I did it. I am sure that I crushed him. And for 6 months, I tried my best to get this person that told me he loved me, he had been thinking about me so many years, and he willed me back into his life. But I could not get to speak to me for 6 months. When I decided to go in, it was because the feelings that I had for him went from love to resentment to hate. And I did not like being in that space of hating someone that I had so much love for, or hating anyone with the intensity that I had felt at that point. So I knew for me it was time for me to go in. Some people, they cannot stay a day or 2 days or an hour without trying to talk to that person. If you are that person, you are not ready. So when you feel like there's a time that you can get through, maybe a few days, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks without speaking to the person, you are then ready to go into no contact. Every time you break no contact, you are setting yourself backwards. If you say to yourself, okay, I'm not going to contact her or I'm not going to contact him for a week, and then you contact the person before that week is up, guess what? You have to start all the way over from day one to get to day seven. Don't do that to yourself. Do not spend 6 months trying to get someone to speak to you. Now, I did not contact this person every single day for 6 months, but I did contact him frequently. I just turned into this person that I didn't even recognize. I was like, where is this confident woman that I used to be? Why am I allowing my feelings for someone to make me run amok? Don't do that to yourself. And guess what else is happening? I'm going to tell you this. Person is using their superpowers on you. They are hurting too. Rejection hurts. It doesn't matter if you do it to someone or someone does it to you. While you are contacting this person, you're crying, you're hurting, you're in agony. Guess what's happening on the other side of that phone or that text or that message? It's one of two things. One, you are pissing that person off and they're really starting to dislike you and wondering, how in the world did I get involved with this nutcase? Or two, they are sitting there with the popcorn and a glass of cherry lemonade or something, and they're just enjoying themselves. Enjoying the fact that you broke up with them and now they get to do to you what you did to them by ignoring you. It is stroking their ego and they are loving it. Stop participating in foolishness and get yourself in no contact. Once you decide to go into no contact, some of you might be wondering, when do I come out? Once you go into no contact, you are not to come out unless you have children, you have business with the person, and you need to speak with them. Even if you need to speak with them, you do not talk about anything else except the children or the business. Don't talk about how much I miss you. Don't let the person tell you how much they miss you. Do not talk about how sweet you smell or how sweet they smell. Do not talk about how good they look. Once that happens, it is done. You have been bamboozled, and then you're going to start having to deal with those feelings again, and you're going to have to start all the way from scratch. The only other time that you should come out of no contact is if you decide that you are strong enough that you are willing to reach out to that person and they either ignore you or they reject you verbally and you are able to handle it. No contact means absolutely no contact. So do not go over to the person's social media page. If you have broken up with someone, they might just have the inclination to go out and get a rebound. The poor rebound is being used for a clandestine operation. They have no idea it's going on. They are being used to go out, have fun, have dinner, have a wonderful time with this person. And this person is going to take pictures and they're going to go and plaster it on their social media account. Do you know why? Because they know you are nosy. And you are going to see those pictures and you are going to get your heart broken all over again. And you know what? You would have deserved it. I know that sounds harsh, but you had no business over there in the first place. No contact means absolutely no contact. You don't ask about them from friends. You don't ask about them from anyone. You act like the person does not exist anymore. Because you must get back to your healing. It is not about that person anymore. It is totally about you. Again, the person is using their superpowers on you without you even realizing it. Once you are in no contact, stay in no contact. There are times when, while you're in no contact, the person that has been ignoring you may have had a moment of clarity and they say, hey, I was the person that was at fault for this breakup. I had a good man, I had a good woman, and I ruined it. I'm going to try and talk to them. They might contact you. Should you answer? Yes. Because number one, I do not believe that you should ever ignore a person. Even if you don't want to speak to that person, you can't stand them, you don't want anything to do with them, let them know in a polite way that you are not ready to speak with them and you would just rather than wait until such a time that you're able to talk to them in a way that is very adult like. You have been dreaming that this person would come back. So if you feel that, hey, oh, he's calling me or she's calling me and I really want to talk to them, and you can handle talking to them, go ahead and speak to them. There's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that you are not the person that breaks no contact. So, what are you going to do once you have decided to go into no contact? You're going to cry. You're going to be in pain. You're going to be in agony. You're going to feel like you're suffocating. You're going to go through emotions that you had no idea was humanly possible. You're going to sort through your feelings. You're going to focus, acknowledge your pain, and you are going to set goals. But these goals are going to be personal goals. They are not to be to try and win this person back. From here on, it is about you and no one else. Do you need to lose weight? How about going to the gym or working out at home? Some of you wanted to write books and you were scared no one would buy them. Well, that is out of your control. The only thing you can control is writing your book and putting it out there. Write your book about what you're going through right now. Right up until this point, put the book down, and once you get to the other side of this horrible journey, you finish your book, publish it, and maybe it can help someone else. What about doing an extreme sports? Bungee jumping, skydiving, join a fitness competition? I think that's extreme. You're going to focus on something that is tangible, that when you look back, you can see the results of it. Do you know what I did? I used my pain to earn an advanced degree, and my study is being read all over the world. I never thought that was going to happen. That's the beauty about pain. Pain can be used to bring wonderful things into your life. It is there to teach you something. Now, something interesting happened while I was earning my degree. I got to the point, after 4 years of no contact, yes, I stayed in for 4 years, but one day I heard in my spirit, it's time. And I knew what that was about because I had heard it before and I ignored it. It was time for me to reach out to this person again. My spirit had been so full of negative, nasty emotions that it was time to unclutter it and shut that door. So I got up early that morning. I wrote a beautiful message. The harshest thing that I said was, if you reply, you reply. If you don't, you don't. It doesn't matter anymore. And I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. If you were the type of person that was contacting the person to ask, beg, cry, maybe even threaten the person to come back, God, I hope none of you did that, and you've disappeared for a while, when you contact them again, they are going to be expecting you to beg. And when you do not beg, it is going to mess them up. When I sent my message, it was nothing but beautiful things in it. I wished him the best. I told him that anything in his life he had prayed for that was good for him, that I hope he got it. I even told him that I hope that he had met the woman that he had always wanted. There is no way anyone could have convinced me that I would ever have been able to say something like that. But I said it and I meant it. Once I sent that letter, that was it. It was gone. I didn't think about it anymore. I got to work, and right before work started, I checked my messages. There was a message from him. I didn't realize it was him at first. I started reading, and I stopped and I looked at who it came from, and I was shocked because I had not expected a reply. I did not read the rest of the email. It just didn't matter. I said, in response to his message, "Thank you for replying." He replied again. He said, wait. How are you doing? I asked such and such a person and they wouldn't tell me anything about you. I said, I'm doing fine. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to end the conversation here because I do not want you to feel that I'm trying to bother you. And I sent the message back and I did not hear from him after that. 2 weeks later, I get a friend's request from him, and I accepted the friend's request. But it's been years since that friend's request, and I have never once reached out to him. What did I learn about the no contact rule? The no contact rule is not to be used to get your ex back, it is to be used to get you back. Some of you were fortunate enough to get the person that you lost back, but that was because something about you or something about that other person changed. And they learned that while being in a space of quiet reflection. They probably were like, hey, I had a wonderful woman. I had the most incredible man and I messed it up and I want them back. You started working on yourself. They started working on themselves. And then when they came out of no contact, you saw a totally different person that was more of what you liked. In my situation, now that I reflect on things, it would have never worked, no matter how much I loved this person. First of all, I don't want to be with someone who would be willing to not speak to me for 6 months because I messed up. I don't want to be with someone that if I humble myself to the lowest level of repentance, that would ignore me. I don't want to be with someone that is not the best for me. And he should not be with someone who is the less for him. I learned that I should not be so reactive. Be patient. Listen before reacting. Now, when I severed that relationship, I felt justified in doing so because of what I was hearing. However, the way that I did it was wrong. When I hung up that phone, I immediately regretted it. I crushed this person, and I did not have the right to do that just because I was angry. I learned to be more compassionate. I learned to look at things from a different point of view. I learned to forgive faster because I can't hold a grudge. But I learned now because of what I went through that when someone is truly sincere and they are repentant, they are not about games, they hurt you and they are sorry, you should forgive them. It doesn't mean that you have to go back into the relationship, but you should forgive them only if for the fact that you release them from the pain that they're carrying. So people come to me and they ask me to forgive them, I'm good. The biggest lesson that I learned from this beautiful, wonderful human being that came into my world, and yes, despite it all, he's still a beautiful, wonderful human being. He taught me what my heart can do. I have been in love before, but I have never felt love like that. It was the most beautiful, all-encompassing love that I've ever felt. And for that alone, I thank him because all the lessons that I have learned, I have been able to take it into different areas of my life and apply it, and wonderful things have happened. Some of you are going to be so happy that you went through that heartbreak because you are going to meet someone that you're going to love so much more. They're going to love you so much more in a way that you never expected. The no contact rule will help you whether you broke up with someone broke up with you, if you're a man or if you are a woman. All you have to do is allow it to do what it's supposed to do. It may not work the way you want it to. You may not get that person back, but at the least you are going to get you back, and you are going to be able to gain things you had no idea were possible for your life. I am not telling you what I think, I am telling you what I know. Until next time, you beautiful souls.